Welcome back. This is date 5. This is Room to Grow. We're talking about family.
All right, and if you had the chance to read the chapter this week, you might be thinking to yourself,
This isn't for me.
this isn't for me. And really, I was a little surprised. Like, it really was a conversation that we're kind of past. Like, we're past the decision to have, like, we've decided that we're done having children. And so a lot of the research that they've done focuses on that point of inflection, the decision to have kids or not have kids or how many to have. And that is a real conversation. If you're still making that decision, that's a really important conversation to have. But we know a lot of you are past that decision as well. And so we're going to try to broaden the conversation because there's still plenty to talk about in regards to family.
Big topic. So this is really an opportunity to talk about prioritizing your relationship regardless of what stage of family you're in.
Right. So this is kind of what we're going to agree together, that this is the hierarchy that we're aiming for. It's God first, marriage second, children and family next, and then work, and then volunteer or any other activities you have. And if you can both agree to both have that hierarchy, it's wonderful, right? It cuts conflict and everything.
As you're navigating all the decision making. So we're in all sorts of different stages in the family journey. And so just encourage you to tailor the conversation to whatever stage of family you are in. And so we've included some extra questions in the email to kind of help take you there. So broaden the conversation to include extended family relationships and where that fits.
Right. In the book, it was terribly sobering. They talked about this satisfaction curve, and it laid out that in marriage, satisfaction is generally pretty high for the first couple years of marriage. And then at the birth of the first child, the chart went like this.
The floor drops
and
out.
It goes down, and then it doesn't come back up until the youngest child turns 18 or leaves the house, and then it starts coming back up. And I don't know about you, but that was like, nope. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's not for me.
We need to flatten this curve. So the struggle was real, especially early in our parenting journey when the kids were really young, and we're living here in Chicago suburbs and trying to balance all the work-life stuff, and we're doing it in a raised ranch. And we know that in Chicago suburbs, about 1 in 3 of you probably also live in a raised ranch. That's just how the suburbs were set up. But the thing about it is all the bedrooms are piled in one little corner of the house and really close proximity of one another. And that just made it incredibly difficult, really.
To carve out any kind of space for ourselves was difficult because, I mean, the most convenient time is at night, right? When the kids go to bed, we could have an hour or two, just the two of us. But we would put the kids to bed, and then we would like sit on the couch in the living room, whispering, trying to not wake the kids up. And it felt like
then they'd wake up, and then we take them back to their bed. And
it was just that constant, like we could never carve out the space that we needed, much less the time. And so we really kind of made a big family decision because we were starting to feel that curve, right?
Yep.
We were really starting to feel heading down that curve.
How can we get that quality time and space for us? And then it occurred to us, what space do we have that's underutilized? The basement.
Right. And so we really launched into a renovation project that really changed the trajectory of our lives. And now the kids are all upstairs, and we have our bedroom and our workspace and our relaxing space down here in the basement. That's where we are right now. We're able to do this. And being able to carve out that space where in the evenings, we could enjoy time together and be separate from the kids. And the kids were terrified to come down here because they thought the basement was scary. It really worked in our favor. They would sit at the top of the stairs and say, Mom, Dad, I need water.
They would not dare to come down here. So, and we really capitalized on that.
And we know not all of you are going to renovate your houses to find that time and space, but we do want you to consider how you can creatively reorganize your lives so that you're able to have that time and space together to prioritize this relationship.
Yep. how does your relationship become a priority in your family when it comes to the space you live in and the time that you use? Yeah, so the Bible talks about family quite a bit, and we get lots of examples of family and all of the challenges and dysfunction that can play out in family. But we also get these kind of key verses like Joshua 24:15, where he declares really, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And so it's like, regardless of what everybody else is doing, what the Joneses are doing down the street, we're going to live in this way. And so each family, you got to define your own kind of sense of what's important. Proverbs 22:6 talks about start children off in the way they should go, and even when they're old, they will not depart from it. And so this whole business of growing our family, it's not just about navigating discipline issues or just trying to survive, but it's really thriving. And in particular, from a faith perspective, it's like, how can we live as a family on mission? And how can we raise these kids and our collective family to be the light of the world in the neighborhood where God's planted us? A couple of years ago, we read this really influential book, Family on Mission, and it really set us on a new path in terms of thinking about our relationship to family and just our overall sort of work in the church and our mission.
Right, and we actually we wrote a family mission and values,
Totally.
and we painted it on the wall upstairs, even so that we always had it there to remind us that this is our mission, and and our mission is what God gives, we share. That's our kind of, we talk about that with the kids a lot.
Big on generosity. We got 4 kids. Sharing is a
Sharing is
really
really
big
important.
topic
Yeah.
that comes up frequently. And then our values were these. Again, that sense of priority or hierarchy. Love God. And then build each other up. And then listen carefully and find beauty and get creative. And so when different things come up, when we're navigating discipline issues, or when we're trying to make big family decisions or planning holidays, we're able to consult.
It just gives us a way to focus what we're doing as a family, because family life is busy and we need to make sure we're grounded in
Anchor points. Yep.
right. And so this setting of priorities, like making sure that these priorities are in order, it's not only just to avoid conflict, right? We're trying actually to show our kids in our marriage what the love between Christ and his church should look like. Kids work really well with examples, right? That's how they learn. And that's how God set this whole thing up, so that they could learn how much Christ loves his church. In the Bible, it says, this is a profound mystery, but I'm talking about Christ and the church. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband.
That's really incredible. Like, the love and respect that you share in your relationship is really nourishing your kids and showing them really important things when it comes to our faith. So again, with this date, let's just go ahead and broaden the conversation to include extended family relationships and be inclusive of whatever stage of family that you're in. And let's just make sure that you land the plane in this date, committing to making your relationship, the relationship between you two, a priority regardless of what stage of family growth you're currently navigating. So that's what we've got there. Enjoy another really, really great day, great conversation. Peace, everybody.
Peace.